Hey everyone, Adam here. Welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to be going over how to scale Facebook ads. The largest month I've ever done with Facebook ads to touch over $1 million. I think it was like $1,024,000 with almost a 4x ROI. So in this video, we're going to be covering everything about scaling with Facebook ads. And honestly, I'm just going to keep it pretty simple. Like I don't think we need to complicate this stuff in any sort of imagination. So we're going to keep it pretty simple, go through everything you need to know, really step by step here. So if you haven't heard me before, my name is Adam Matthews. I've been in the e-commerce space over 6.5 years now, and I run a company called AQM, which is essentially an e-commerce growth agency that partners with brands doing it anywhere from like 6 figures to 8 figures in yearly revenue. And we've also helped scale over a dozen brands to over $100,000 per month plus. But with that out of the way, let's get straight into it. So basically, I would say in main summary, the main things you need to focus on when scaling your Facebook ads is first and foremost, raising budgets on your current ad sets. So if you launch, let's just say some audiences and they're already doing well, we already want to start raising those. We're going to cover that in detail. Setting up a CBO scale campaign and working on raising that. Third is also continuously testing out new creatives on the side to make sure to feed into the main CBO, feed into your other audiences, et cetera, et cetera. I've made this mistake before, and you do not want to do that. Okay, so that's a very important one. A lot can go wrong. It'd be a bit of a roller coaster if you don't do that. And then also number 4, capitalize on new product launches and promo periods. This is insanely important. As you know, e-commerce there's some seasonality to it, and you need to make sure you capitalize on those important periods because it's almost like playoffs in sports. You need to, it comes down to that crunch time. You need to make sure you absolutely execute the best it possibly can, because this is your opportunity to get like so many customers and generate a lot of revenue, profit, all that good stuff. And then also last piece as well, which a lot of people overlook, is getting retention dialed in. This is how you create a sustainable, profitable, massive company, is you have very good retention, okay? And also improving customer lifetime value. So we'll cover that as well. So first and foremost, raising budgets on current ad sets. Now, a good rule of thumb is you want to raise your budget by maximum 35% daily. So the reason for the maximum 35% on an ABO ad set, which is basically whenever you launch a campaign and you have different interests in there on each one. If you raise it by more than 35%, it's basically going to shoot it out of learning phase, or shoot it back into learning phase, excuse me. So you want to make sure that you basically do maximum 35%. So a good rule of thumb, this is kind of what I've laid out on an ABO, ad set budget optimization campaign, is basically raise budgets like this. So let's just say on the very, very low end, you started with a $5 daily budget, which I wouldn't recommend that low, to be honest. It's going to take way too long. You'd raise it to 10, then you go to 15, then 20, 25, 30, 40, 50, 60, then start raising by 20, 80, 100, 120, 150, 180, 200. And honestly, like in my experience, like once you get past $200 like on an ad set, in majority of cases, it makes way more sense just scale with a CBO campaign and just broader audiences, to be honest. This is where it's just going to fatigue way too fast, depending on unless you stack like a ton of countries in there, or if you stack some different interests together, then I guess it's, you can do that. But in most cases, we don't really do that as much. So, we just find I don't want to say we cap it completely at 200, but like in most cases, it makes sense just to kind of move over to a more CBO model. Cause usually these just pull in a lot of profit. So we just kind of keep it relatively lean. You want to make sure you're doing this. You want to keep a close eye on these 2 KPIs. These are like the most important ones, is your cost per acquisition. So how much it's costing to acquire customers, and then also your return on ad spend. That's basically for every dollar put in, how much you're getting out. And a quick way to calculate this is if just know your gross margin percentage. So if your gross margin is 50%, you literally just go 1 divided by 0.5, and you'd find out you need to be hitting a minimum 2 on the front end to be breaking even on first purchase. If you have 80% margins, which that's very good margins gross, need to be hitting a minimum 1.25. Okay, so that's very, very crucial to know those numbers. And then once you're got some cushion and some room above it, that's when you can start scaling. Okay, so scaling honestly isn't really that difficult. It's the harder part is making sure you nail everything else, which we cover on the rest of the channel. But scaling, once you got it, it's pretty straightforward. So let me show you a couple examples here on some ad set budget campaigns here. I'm going to zoom in so you can see these screenshots. So you can see here, we got some interest. We got motherhood and dogs. We got a Shopify audiences lookalike doing quite well. We got dogs, dog food, broad. Okay, only separate ones, and we haven't scaled them too aggressively. Like I was saying, we kind of keeping it profitable, and we're still waiting on some new creative to come in. So you can see here, these ones 50, 30, 40, 30, 30, and then they spent 441, 277, and very healthy return ad spend. So you can see here, return ad spend, you don't need it to be this high. We need a minimum 2 on this brand. So this is that's a lot of cushion, to be honest. And then cost per acquisition, very, very healthy as well too. Their average orders value is about $120, give or take. So yeah, these are all very, very healthy. You can see another example where we have this founder video and we have all these different interests, and these are doing quite well. I don't have the budgets on there, but we're going to work on scaling these up as well. And you can see here, cost per acquisition, very, very healthy, 1150, 1667, 1541, and return ad spend, very, very healthy. Okay. Average order value, pretty strong. And then yeah, conversion rate's okay. I think it's sitting, I guess, around a 2%, but we're driving traffic for very cheap because I think our CTR and our cost per click is very, very healthy for the ads that we're running for the specific ads. So whenever you see this, you can start bumping it up for sure. And I mean, we're going to push this pretty nicely, to be honest, but that's going to lead me to my other point where you want to make sure you're testing new creatives on the side, because if we have this one main video and it's doing really well, and all of a sudden it fatigues pretty quickly, or if we push it way too hard and we all back up creatives, then we're going to be in trouble. So that's something to note there. Okay, so something we're going to do as well too, and I think we're going to we have it set up down there, is setting up a CBO campaign. Okay, and also advantage shopping, and then basically raising those. So this basically is set up, honestly, really not complicated. It's broad targeting, so we don't do anything. It's just 18 plus, all genders. But then we'll split up our country. So for example, in this one here, we have a campaign dedicated for US. Okay. And then we also have a campaign dedicated for Canada. And the reason why we split it out is because it's 2 completely different websites. So it's a lot more simple. It's 2 different currencies. It's all sort of stuff. So we just split it out between Canada and US to make it easy. And then, yeah, auto placements, very, very straightforward. Okay. So this here, what we do is we put basically the main winning ads in there, and then we also make variations off it. So let's just say we have one video that's already really doing really well, rather than just putting that one main video and one main ad in there. We might make a few different variations off the ad copy as well, just to give it more room to work with, and just making variations off what we know already works a ton, right? And we want to start pushing that. Now, budget for this, we usually start at minimum 100 or 250 a day to start, and then for scaling, 20 to 30% bumps daily. So this is what it kind of looks like. There's a few examples here. So you can see here or this is one example, I guess you can say. So we have the CA cold broad is starting out. I think we started at 100 and now it's at 150 now. And you can see here, because it translated over from the other same ad, actually, same account. And this is what I meant by the cost per click, 37 cents. So let's just say the ads are, and CTR 3%, 3.04. So let's just say they're doing very, very well. Cost per acquisition, super healthy. ROAS, whew, amazing. So things are looking good. So obviously we're just going to keep pushing this, but we want to make sure we have some backup ads, we want to make sure that it's not like a huge roller coaster. We shoot up to some massive numbers and it just falls off a cliff. We want to just be steady growth, continuously put it in, test on the side, just make sure we're continuously growing. I find that a lot of the brands that we work with, the founders, they, rather have steady growth, rather than a huge shoot up and spike and then just falls off a cliff. That's where they just start stressing out so hard and they feel like their whole business is collapsing, but it's all good. We just need some new winning ads in there. But yeah, you can see here we have broad, we have the UGC vid test 1. And then also this other one, we made a variation off this Amy, this lady that we work, she's basically the marketing manager of the brand, and she also wanted to make an edit as well. So hey, we did that in a few different pieces of ad copy, and that one's actually getting same ad, just a slightly different tweak. The one that we made and the one that we edited is actually getting, you can see a way better, literally half the cost per click and literally double the CTR, and cost per purchase. Everything looks really, really good. But at the end of the day, we're okay making those different variations and launching the different ad sets. So really the whole goal here is we want to keep testing out more broad ad sets in this campaign and keep raising the budget, but then just adding more ad sets here to just create more stability and just more ads and more variations. And that way it increases stability, and that way there's just multiple winners in this campaign. And yeah, really helps scale it up really, really nicely. Okay, that leads me to my next point that I've been harping on a little bit, is to make sure to continuously test out new creatives on the side to not only feed into the main CBO, but also your other ad sets and your other campaigns as well too. So 2 ways, how do you go about doing that is really 2 ways. One is you can duplicate the ad set and test new ads in the main CBO campaigns. That's what we've been doing. This one is very, very recent on a newer client that we have. But yeah, you can see here, we're just going to duplicate. We're just going to hit this, duplicate this. It's going to be all the exact same things. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to create probably about 4 different ads. Or I've been seeing this other guy on YouTube, Charlie, does the 3-2-2 method. And I actually kind of like that because that actually ends up creating 12 variations. So we've been testing some different things out. I'm always open to new testing strategies and scaling strategies and stuff like that. But yeah, there's more than one way to skin the cat essentially. But yeah, essentially testing out new ads in each one and just making different variations off of it. Okay. So however best you want to go about doing that. Yeah, that's how I'd go about it. So put it in there. And then honestly, if you're testing out in the CBO, if it doesn't get any spend, you need better ads. Okay. So you don't want to force spend to it. At the end of the day, if it's not getting spend, it's just, you need a better ad. So you can see here for this one, it's getting a little bit of spend, but it's just not as good of an ad as this first one. And obviously, like, it's literally getting half the traffic. It's costing twice as much to get traffic to the site. And you can see obviously the results just, speak for themselves essentially. And then also you can also test them on a separate ABO campaign with the highest performing audiences and really building around those. So you can see here, if we scroll up a little bit higher up here, you can see here all of these interests here: HomeSense, the Brick, Skincare Mothers. Like, they're doing really well in terms of profitability and all that kind of stuff. We can grab a few of those and test out new ads on those audiences, the best ones, right? And if those ads do well, then we can also, put them in the CBO and all that good stuff. Okay. So there's multiple ways of going about that. So, basically on the next part here, capitalizing on new product launches and promo periods. So this one here is crucial for making a ton of revenue during a short period of time. It's absolutely crucial that you absolutely nail it. And, right now, as I'm recording this, it's early October. So I think about October 13th when I'm recording this right now. Black Friday is coming around the corner. Christmas, Boxing Day, all that good stuff. You absolutely need to make sure you're planned out in advance and everything. Now, I did do a video on this. I'm just going to quickly, this was like last year, but same concepts apply. I don't even think we're adjusting too much for this brand specifically. We did partner with another creative agency that's going to be pumping out 24 creatives a month, which is going to be awesome. And then, yeah, that's going to help us scale as well too. So I'm super excited. It's going to get crazy. But yeah, this is basically just a quick little overview of how to go about, promo periods, new product launches, all that good stuff. Okay. This one is mainly utilized. So like the specific examples for Black Friday last year, but let's take a look at it because, Black Friday is literally coming up. So, what you want to make sure you have planned well in advance, is the duration, how long you're going to run it, offer, what the offering is going to be for the target customers, content. What kind of content is it? Static, video, carousels, what kind of video, all this good stuff. And then budget, very important. How much money are we going to spend and how much money are we going to make? Very, very important. Duration, key points. Okay. So results were much stronger a week before Black Friday than the actual Black Friday weekend. Pretty interesting. And honestly, the way the trend's honestly be going is like every year, like brands are just doing it earlier and earlier. I think Gymshark was literally already running Black Friday ads November 1. So it was, with the amount of money that we were making for the brands we were working with, 2 weeks in advance, I can't imagine how much they were making around then. It must have just been absolutely ridiculous. Like, it's almost like a blue ocean. People are already thinking about, Black Friday shopping, all that stuff. But yeah, I just found that super cool. You want to make sure everything's in unison. Your email, organic, influencers, advertising, everything starts on the same time, and it's perfectly in line. Okay, I can't stress this enough how important it is. It just makes everything so much more effective, and it's just a way stronger drop. Okay. And it's just, yeah, it's just a very clear banner on top of the site with the offer. You want to make sure that any of the advertising, they come to the site and it's very clear there's a sale going on. There's nothing like, there's no hidden guesses. There's no like figuring out how to apply a code or doing anything like that. It's very, very clear. Okay. And then in terms of the advertising, it's much better to create a set of campaigns and let them run throughout the entire duration rather than constantly changing the offer. Since those campaigns, they lose their learnings, momentum, all that stuff. So, rather than, creating some pre-Black Friday sale, pausing that, relaunching Black Friday weekend and then pausing that, launching Cyber Monday, becomes an absolute mess. And it's just, the campaigns don't actually build all this momentum and really learn off each other, all that good stuff. So instead, we just started on November 16th, which I think was like 2 Thursdays before, and then just ended it a few days after Cyber Monday. So basically on like the Wednesday. And that's, basically what we're doing this year as well. Offer key points, simplicity. Okay. So very, very just easy for them to understand. It's not like some very complex tiered structure and they're super confused. We honestly just went with up to 40% off site wide. Now there is a bit of nuance to that because the more they spend, the better the deal they get, all that kind of good stuff. But on the front end, it's just very simple. Okay. It's not like, hard for them to understand. Okay. You don't need to mess around with this too much. Just keep it simple. Okay. Content key points for Meta. We launched 16 ads. I think this year, we're doing 24. 4 of them were whitelisted videos dedicated just for Black Friday from #paid. Okay. And then 3 videos with a Black Friday offer messaging on them, 8 photos with a Black Friday offer and messaging on them. And then 1 carousel was basically white background with the products. So that's basically how those 16 ads and the creatives were, and the content essentially was allocated. On Pinterest, we launched a total of 4 ads. All 4 of them were like video ads with a brand logo on each, as well as a Black Friday messaging. And then basically on Snapchat, we launched a total of 6 ads. Okay. It was 6 videos. One of the videos was the winning video from #paid that performed really, really well early on Meta. So we just boom, launched it over on there. Now, in terms of budget, what we do is we do dedicated campaigns for it. Our overview of the budgets per country, it was basically $100,000 for Canada and then $50,000 for the US. And is basically how it was allocated. Okay. So we basically broke it down. I think it was about 65, 70. Yeah, 65% cold traffic. So you can see here we had $65,000 a lifetime budget. And then the remainder, 35 went to warm and hot. So warm is basically anyone who's engaged with the brand, and hot is anyone who's been to the site. I think this year around, we'll probably make this quite a bit higher, probably about 75, 80 going towards cold traffic. That's kind of that's where we're going this year around. And I think we're doing about 200,000 in terms of lifetime budget. So it's going to be crazy. Pinterest, 8K on Canada cold, and then 3K on US cold. That's going to get raised this year as well. And same thing with Snapchat as well. 8.5K on cold, and then 6K on US cold. We didn't really do any retargeting on those platforms. It was strictly top of funnel. Learnings recommendations. So basically, you want to raise the bar each time. You want to plan well in advance, have solid structure to the campaigns. And then also, because we had so much budget, you need to make sure you have a lot of ads. If we had 2 ads in there, we would have been absolutely screwed. You know what I mean? It would have just like fatigued instantly, and we would have been hooped, right? So we had 16, and because we're raising up to 200,000 this year, we're going to have 24 ads. So that's a very good, distribution of, amount of creatives that we're going to have for the campaigns. And then, if you're planning to spend $50,000 plus, I'd actually really look into creator whitelisting. Now, by the time you see this video, you got to move quick. I don't even know if actually you even have time, but whitelisting definitely works really, really well. So I would give that a shot. Alternatively, what you can do, there's a brand called the Udi, which you probably may have heard before. I think they do about $100 million a year. And basically what their media bar does, they actually run these fan pages, like these random fan pages that just are in the niche, and then they just run ads through them and just kind of test them out. It just looks a bit more organic. So you can do creators, or you can do like fan pages or the brand page. Like there's so much you can do honestly with this. If you don't have time to like source the creators, that's another option as well too. So that's actually kind of a cool idea for you to test out. And then, the strategy can be used for basically any promo campaign, new product launches, all that kind of stuff. And then make sure you leverage multiple platforms for it. And then the last part here, I just want to quickly touch on is retention. So really make sure that's dialed in, improving your customer lifetime value. The more your customers are worth, the more you're going to be able to scale your Facebook ads, if that makes sense. To give you a bit of context, one of the brands that we work with, they basically... they basically on the front end, I think their average order value is around 100, give or take. But then their lifetime value, I think it was either year one or year two. I think it might have been, yeah, in between there, so or closer to year two, is about $400 something. That's how much a customer's worth. So say for instance, they spend $100 on day one. By the end of it's either year one or two, they basically are worth $400. So you literally 4x, how much they're worth. And, that's because retention is very good. The customer experience, the branding, the packaging, everything is really, really good. The product quality is really, really good. People are happy with it. And then they just have a really good strategy of retaining them. And because of that, you can spend more to acquire customers. You can scale further. You can be more profitable. You have way more sustainable business. Like there's so many benefits. So just make sure you create a great product, great experience, and yeah, because customer lifetime value is really, really important. Now, by the way, if you have an e-commerce brand yourself, you watching this right now, and you're doing at least like $10,000 a month minimum, and you're kind of struggling with scaling your brand, scaling your Facebook ads, all that good stuff, there's going to be a link in the description, first link down below. It's going to take you to our beautiful website where you can book in a call with myself, and we can kind of look through your ads, look through your brand, hear more about it, create like a bit of a custom growth plan for you, audit, see what you're doing already, and potentially even work on, scaling your brand together. You don't have to click on it. I don't mind if you do or not, but if you're doing at least $10,000 a month and you're struggling with growth and want some help with that, then definitely feel free to check it out. But that about wraps up the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you really liked it, drop me a thumbs up, and also let me know any other video suggestions that you want to see from me. Comment that down below. I'm always open to new ideas and any video any video ideas that you have that come to mind. But yeah, thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. You are a real one, and that basically wraps it up. So thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one, and cheers for watching.